Ask you about how much more comfortable you are as a leader now. Obviously not a freshman, sophomore, still not an upperclassman, but everyone say that you've kind of grabbed a hold of that unit. How has that maturity process been for you?
It's been good. I think I really started taking control of it when we got back in January. Obviously, getting onto the culture council was big for me. Seeing how some of the older guys lead and helping me take that next step forward was also huge. I had the whole summer to practice it with team runs, lifts, kind of when we were in smaller groups, and now that we're out there for fall camp as offense, defense, team, I've been able to apply it out there as well.
Do you feel an extra amount of pressure to be a leader, especially as the center, because you got to kind of get everything going up there on the offensive line?
I would say as much as you would expect. Obviously, there is pressure being a leader on a team, but I look at it as a privilege. With pressure comes great responsibility, and I've just been taking advantage of that every day.
What's the biggest change for you from year one to year two? Like, what have you improved the most in?
I'd say I guess if I had to sum it up, being comfortable, but not in a, what's the word I'm looking for? Not in a complacent way. I'm not complacent about it or anything. Just, I kind of know what's expected now on every play, what's expected from me on and off the field, what's expected. Like, we help make up the standards. So that's an example, something off the field. So I think just knowing what it's like going through a full football season at the college level, that's all helped me kind of slow the game down and just really helped me in all aspects, honestly.
Knowing that there's still 3 weeks to go till you play a game and depth chart positions can change, but that first unit right now, I guess your assessment of the other guys on the line, you've got real size at both tackles. Just what do you see?
I mean, really everybody's, obviously there's still time for some things to switch up, but everybody's kind of finding their spot right now. Just kind of finding like how they gel in, if that makes sense. So I think it's going well.
Peyton's back for another year. Is that helpful in your growth as a center to have the same starting quarterback back from the end of last season and a guy who's been able to go through the full offseason as QB1?
Yeah, that's huge because coming off the offseason, we have a chance to talk film, talk football, what he sees, get a chance to see everything from his perspective. So as we get into things like fall camp and going into the season now, we've had that whole off-season to prepare together, and I think that really just gets not only myself but the offensive line and all the skill players and all the pieces, they have a chance to already have a step ahead because they already have that bond together.
What kind of difference do you see in Peyton now that it's year two and he's much more familiar with everything?
Obviously, he stepped up as a leader. Not that he wasn't a leader last year, but now you can just tell he knows it's all on him. He drives this offense, and I think he's done a good job of just embracing that. So that's the biggest thing I've seen from him.
You mentioned being on the leadership council, and there's some guys on that council that have been at Auburn for 4 or 5 or 6 years, and they've had that roller coaster ride of ups and downs. How important is it to send those guys out with a triumphant final season at Auburn?
Yeah, those are like the true Auburn men that we look at as Auburn men, and just seeing the sacrifices that they've put in, going over 2 years, and I'm not even through my second year, but they've been here 4, 5, 6 years. You can't do anything but respect what they've sacrificed and what kind of work they've put through it. So you want to send them off with the best season possible for sure.
The offense was frustrating at times last year. Where would you say, through a few fall camps, that you guys have made the greatest improvement on the offensive side of the ball?
Just some things have changed now that Coach Freeze and Coach Nix are calling plays together and stuff like that. So there's been a little bit of change. But for the most part, I know from the offensive line perspective, inside zone is still inside zone. So, keep going back to it, the expectations are pretty much the same in our room, and I know in a lot of other rooms. So we're already a step ahead in that we know what's expected from us, and we've been attacking it since before fall camp.
How much fun has it been to watch the freshman receivers go up and make plays?
Oh my gosh, it's awesome. I probably sound like a broken record here, but as an offensive lineman, I know for sure it makes our job a lot easier. All we have to do is protect, and sometimes if we got to protect for 3 seconds and there's somebody downfield and they're wide open and it's awesome. So it definitely makes our life a lot easier.
There are grown men on the D line in this league, as you know. How are you able to come in and make that jump from high school to playing as a true freshman against 22-year-olds?
I think the biggest thing for me was just preparation. You know, Coach Thornton did a good job. I mean, not just Coach Thornton, but everybody in that room did a good job helping me prepare and showing me what it's like to prepare at the college level. I had mentors like Cam Stutz, Avery Jones, Gunnar Britton. All of them kind of showed me what it was like, how you're supposed to prepare, how you're supposed to go through a practice, how you're supposed to go through a lift, how you're supposed to do everything. And, you know, for me, I just kind of soaked that up like a sponge and applied it as fast as I could.
Connor, who on the defensive line has been tough?
I say the two people that I go against the most right now that have been giving me some problems are definitely Jason Jones and Isaiah Rakes, the new addition. I think he's going to be really good for us.